this is like fun with other, running friends. So I'm like, I'm going to do it because I knew it would put me in a good mood.
You are my BRF.
What's happening, Eric?
There for your victory lap.
Yeah.
Whoa!
How
did you do that?
And all of a sudden I go to zip it up and I'm like, why is the zipper in the front right now? 0 out of 10 on the recommendation scale.
I am literally crying from laughter and from so much love. Oh my God. It's like icing off for your cornhole.
And he just smashed Arnie like that and said, you stay out of this, Arnie. And
But I don't run to stay sober. I get to run because I can.
And there she was, a halo over her head.
No, it's not very true. Okay.
And he steps to the side and just gestures. Here's the tinkle pot. I don't need to tinkle.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 150 of the On the Runs podcast. Wow, it is cold, it is windy, it is snowy. Erika has been staying inside. She's not even going to work. Where I've been getting out the door and hitting the slopes before the lifts even turn on. I'm loving it. She's hating it. I guess I should say hi to my amazing kick-ass rock star of our co-host, 6-star Erika. What's up?
I'm perpetually cold, and I only didn't have to go to work because today is technically a holiday. Well,
kind of
being Monday.
Kind of a holiday. I didn't have to go to work either. I still did some work, and I went sledding and had fun in the snow.
I had to de-ice my car. That was like 45 minutes of work.
You know, you could have played in the snow. Why aren't you a winter person? Go sledding or something. Come on.
Because there's a layer of ice on top, and it's not fun anymore.
Ah, I love it. I'm loving it. Like, thank you, Phil, for saying there was 6 more weeks of winter because it's finally arrived.
I'm like, is it your fault? Should I blame you now because you like it?
Punxsutawney Phil, it's his fault. Man, but anyways, how are you? What's going on? Are you running right now? I feel like it's been a while, and then it's going to be a long time until we talk. But we didn't talk last Monday because you went to some really cool thing with Tara Pterodactyl and Lindsay, and you had fun. What'd you do?
Well, Lindsay was having more fun than us. She was in Florida. But Tara and we went to our local Fleet Feet here in Nashua, had a situational awareness class put on by, his name is Justin DeFlumeri, and he's part of the Gate City Striders. And he just put on this excellent class about how to be more aware of your surroundings when you're running and just looking out for, I guess, warning signs of possible danger. So it was very informative. It was kind of fun, which is like hard to do for one of those classes, but Justin did a great job. We had fun. Just Tara and I, we did a 3-mile run. We got some dinner after at Rap City, chef's kiss. And then we took that class. So it was a solid evening with my girl.
Sounds awesome. A little jealous, to be honest. I forget what I was doing last Monday. Probably, I was weird. I didn't know what to do. It was a Monday night. We weren't recording. I was like, what do I do with myself?
Well, we did record that morning, so
you're right.
I got to see you. You came over to my house.
That's right. That's right. We recorded with someone from across the pond, coming soon to the pod. I don't know. Do you notice I'm in a little different recording studio?
I did. I thought it was the first thing I mentioned. I'm like, where are you? I've never seen that backdrop before.
I'm in Adeline's room because still people are sick, not feeling well. They're laying down in bed. I don't have access to my studio, but this is cool. I've been sitting on my butt though for close to 3 hours now though, because we've been busting out some recordings with runners who are running in the Boston Marathon fundraising. It's been so much fun meeting these people. Quick 15, 20-minute hits. How are you doing? Where can people find you? How can they help fundraise? It's been great.
We talked to some really, really fun people, and I'm excited to follow their journeys. So you guys will hear from them very soon in the next coming month. But Eric's got to go to Cancun first for his sister's wedding.
So what we're going to do actually to kind of pump the tires and generate some more traction to our YouTube channel, all these little mini recordings will come out probably before St. Paddy's Day on our YouTube channel, and then they'll drop later on the pod. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited for that to happen. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to love it. We love Boston Weeks, and we hope you guys love it as much as we do.
You know who else we love? Our guest today. He was
Sorry,
awesome.
that wasn't an excited hee or anything.
He was awesome. We had so much fun with him. He came on the pod, shared some great stories. He's going to be at the Boss Run show, and we're kind of pumped for that because you're going to get to do a little run with him. You're going to talk about it on the guest segment with him, and he's so cool, such a cool guy, huge Eagles fan, so he's really happy right now. And we have Alex Hermanson on the Runs podcast. Are you excited for this?
I am super excited. He's one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram. And also, he's Team Donut. So,
Team Donut.
It's meant to be.
Team Donut all the way. Guys, you're going to love this. Alex Hermanson on the Runs podcast, and we'll see you on the other side. Our next guest on the pod is a big dude with an even bigger heart. This former hockey player was inspired at one of the world major marathons and began his running journey the next day. He started to share his journey on social media and gained an audience who appreciated his positivity and his passion for big dude approved donuts and run comfy. Sun's out, Tums out. We are wicked excited to welcome Alex Hermanson, a.k.a. Herm Runs, to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, Herm?
Wow. Kelly noted in her show, but that was a great intro, you know?
Thank you.
What did she say? I think she said that most of the time you just want the person to get through it. You don't like hearing about yourself. That was tremendous. You're invited to whatever big events I'm ever going to again just to bring me on stage.
Yes, I'll be your hype man.
Eric, you just signed yourself up.
Yes, I'll be your hype man.
He definitely excels at all those intros. I mean, I would have screwed up probably like 4 or 5 times, and he nailed it first time.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
I need to give some credit to your hockey guy, Spittin' Chicklets RA. I kind of took some inspiration from his intros when he would introduce someone, and I kind of mixed it into my own way. But I took a lot of this podcast and this passion project is inspiration from other podcasters or other podcasts that I listen to that I'm a fan of. And I feel like what works for them is going to work for us. And so far it's working. And I love the intros. I love when you get pumped up, man. But how are you? Go Birds. I see you got the Birds hat on.
Yeah, last night was so much fun. I woke up this morning hurting, but we had a great time. Yeah, so go Birds. We were going back to the Super Bowl. That's awesome. And other than that, I'm trying to get back into running a little bit right now. I caught the vicious flu that everyone's getting this year.
Yeah,
I had that.
Did it take you out for a full month too, where you're just like
6 weeks? Couldn't breathe. Yeah. It was brutal. Yeah. So stay safe, everyone. Don't catch this.
Don't catch it. Get your flu shots, and also don't rush getting back into running. I think that kind of set me back a couple times. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but I'm in the midst of 50-mile race training right now. So
hell yes.
It was like probably the least optimal time to get the flu. But hey, you know what? It wouldn't be ultra training if there wasn't some kind of bump in the road, right?
You got a point. That's extra motivation to persevere, because who knows what that 50 miler is going to throw at you. Hopefully not anything near what the flu did to you, but
no, yeah, I will happily take some vert and some sand and a little bit of pain over the 5 nights of shivering and shaking and just awful.
I feel you. I totally do.
Just awful. It was so bad. And I've never seen more just gross stuff come out of my body. I mean, it was just the worst. So if anybody's working through that right now, my heart goes out to you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hope that you can doom scroll or whatever you call it when you're listening right now. You can feel our empathy.
I got lucky. Sounds like the two of you had it for a while. I had it for like 18 hours. The only thing that happened to me was my eye turned all red and weird. Erika, you can explain for him, because I think it's okay. Is it all right?
Nope. It's
still messed up.
You see the red
little bit of.
Yep.
Did you
he popped
burst
a blood vessel? Yeah.
I burst a lot of little tiny ones, I guess. I finally went to the doctor today, and they didn't tell me much. They just said, "Oh, it will go down." I'm like, "It's been 2 weeks." They're like, "That's kind of long." Go see an eye doctor then.
It looks a little better than it did. It was quite freaky to see with it, because you just like look half in a different direction. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, I'm always looking right here at this monitor at my notes and everything, and Erika's looking right at the eye.
Just looks like a line. But one thing I picked out of your intro for Herm here, he is a donut guy, so we got another one on Team Donut. That was a debatable question from the other day.
What's the other team?
Team No Donuts.
Oh, just donut versus no donut? Who the
Donut
hell's
versus-
on no donut?
So
See what
we're
I mean?
Do they
Sorry,
hate their
Alex.
lives?
I agree.
It's
We're kind of we're kind of building this. My running coach today called it a podcast empire, which that's not even close to what it is. But I'm trying to produce more podcasts and help other people do it. And I work behind the scenes. And so our first one is a girl named Allie G. It's the Allie G Show. And she talked about in her second track, it's not an episode, it's a track, that she doesn't like donuts. And it's like, what? You don't like donuts?
And here I am, like,
That's
give me
insane.
any donut, every donut,
Literally.
anything. I will eat it. So we had this debate, and basically it was like, yes, I'll eat donut, or Erika can have my donut. So I'm like, that's kind
I
of
mean, you
a
win
good
in the end there,
relationship.
technically. Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm getting a donut either way.
Everyone needs that friend who doesn't want something. She's like, oh, I'll take it. I'll take it. Just, we all have that friend.
You know what's so funny is that the donut thing really started because I found that gels in the beginning I still felt so hungry. And I figured very quickly that I can eat anything when I run. Like, it's not, I don't have
ultra
that.
running is for you. You are like set up nicely.
I don't have that issue with having, bad GI issues when I eat real food. So, like, if I'm going to go for, a few hours, I need something that's actually satiating. And it was just this big joke. I'm like, donuts are better than fuel or gels. And I never thought that people would, like, catch on to that and be, like, brought in by just that statement. So
I am team donut anytime, any day. During a run, after a run, before a run, I'm in.
I did a 40-mile race the day before I got the flu, funny enough.
Oh, no way.
So that I thought when you come off of a huge race and sometimes you get a little sick, like you're like, oh, my body's
your body is like.
But then I was like, oh, this
like,
is so much worse than just my body being upset at me. But for that race, I think I only did like 2 gels across 40 miles. Outside of that, it was all donuts and cosmic brownies and pretzels and whatever the hell.
Brownies.
Yeah,
I keep telling everybody, come to the ultra scene because we have the best food. There's just no way around it.
Yeah, you can't beat it. And
it justifies all the junk.
And everyone's so much
delicious.
nicer. Can we just talk about that for a second? Everyone in the ultra scene is just so much more friendly. Not that there's not friendly people running marathons and 5Ks and 10Ks alike.
Stress levels are so low in the ultra scene.
I was talking to someone the day before my 40, and I was like, marathon day before, I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit antsy. Right now, I'm like, I couldn't care less. I'm just going to go run in circles for 8 hours. Like,
that is the attitude.
Yeah. So much less worried about that. Even this 50-miler, my girlfriend Alexa, she's very concerned about me because my training's been horrible. I haven't done a run over 15 miles since that 40-miler.
I mean, here you're getting over the sickness, so you've got an excuse.
I have an excuse, but she's very concerned for me. And I'm like, it's literally just staying on your feet for 50 miles. It doesn't matter if I'm like doing it. I'm not going to BQ at this race or something like that. Just stay upright and go for like 12 hours. I'll survive.
That's all you have to do. That's the perfect strategy.
Yeah. And then after, we're going to Vegas. So it's like survive to go gamble and have fun. That's what we're going to do.
Just a little detour, a 50-mile detour. On foot.
Yeah, exactly.
Herm, you're making Erika so happy. Like, you should this smile, everybody. She's our resident ultra runner, still trying to get me to do one. And I'm not scared of doing an ultra. I'm not scared of the distance. It's just the timing, the training. But she's so excited. Before we really dive into you're training for a 50-miler. What's the 50-miler you're training for?
I think it's called Antelope Canyon. It's in Antelope Canyon, Page, Arizona. It's on March 8th, and I'll be doing my bud Trav Daddy running. And we're going to fly out to Vegas, drive to Page, run the race, and then go back to Vegas. And you're going to see Dead & Company at the Sphere a few times and,
nice.
Do whatever you do in Vegas and have some degenerate fun for a couple days.
A good vacation with a side of running.
Exactly.
Runcation.
Yeah, because the best thing too is that like we're gonna go get all of the running done in one block. Imagine if we went on vacation and just ran every morning because we were training for something. That would be lame. No, we're gonna get the running out of the way and then have some fun.
Yep, you got the right idea.
Yeah, and we got super lucky too. I think it should be noted that like I'm devastated for all the people in Los Angeles, and I'm also devastated that it could affect the marathon because we were going to go out and cheer for our friends running the marathon.
Oh, the LA Marathon.
The LA Marathon the week after. So
Oh, wow.
depending on how, everything goes, with just infrastructure and everything that they need to get back on their feet, we're going to monitor that. So if it happens, we'll be there. If it doesn't, we'll still obviously continue to support our friends and family and everybody who was affected by the fires. But then we just stay in Vegas for a couple extra days. So,
right.
There you go.
Well, we have a PodFam member, Tony, who's out in the LA area, and he's part of the LA running scene, and he hosts his own running club out there, and he runs, I think this year would be his 11th LA Marathon. He does it every year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check in with him. He has his own YouTube channel too. He has a lot of fun. He's very creative, and maybe if you make it out to LA, Tony, shoot Alex a DM, maybe help show him around or something before. But Alex, Herm, let's get into you, man. I got a feeling I know where you're from the hat on your head, but I also saw you were at a Boston Bruins game the other day. My team, the Bruins, breaking our heart right now, not playing so well. But give us the Alex bio. Where are you from? What are you doing? What do you do growing up? We got a little hint we talked about walkout songs earlier, so I'm getting a baseball feeling here.
Yeah, wow. So taking you all the way back, I was born November 5th, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm from a small town right outside of Philly called Vineland, New Jersey. Grew up playing hockey, baseball, had a dad and mom who were diehard Red Sox fans and Bruins fans, and then also Eagles. So I spread out across the board in the sense of, pride for teams around the, professional sports leagues. And it was a cool little childhood. I have the greatest parents in the world. I'm the luckiest guy ever. I mean, my parents have and continue to support every crazy idea, every wild thing that I've ever thrown at them. So I'm gonna bust your balls here a little bit, Eric. On the last episode with Kelly, because I did my research, you took a little jab at parents who send their kids to boarding school for sports. I went to boarding school, so I did get out of Vineland, and I went and spent 4 years away.
So you went to a prep school. Where'd you go?
I did. I went to Petty. It's in Hightstown, New Jersey. I tell people I just went to college 4 years early.
Right.
It's really like, you're on your own, 14 years old, learn how to do your laundry. Here's I was like a very normal guy. I was there on a big old scholarship. I wasn't part of this big world of what rich people prep school stuff. I just was seeking a good education and good sports. So when I first get there, my parents are like, you get $50 a week, spend wisely, you might go to the pizza shop one night, you might go out with friends. Then I get my roommate. I love him to death. He's like the funniest kid, but his neighbor is literally Bruce Springsteen. And he's like, oh, my dad gives me like $1,000 a week. I'm like, all right, well, Con, you're buying dinner for us. So that's how we became friends, actually, though. My freshman year, we were both, believe it or not, I'm kind of an introverted person. I don't do too many, I'm not as extrovert as you'd think. And so we were both kind of shy and didn't really fit in, but we'd go on these dinner dates as roommates to the pizza shop. And it was always on Connor's card. But so I have experienced a lot of things. The town I'm from is super small, super tight knit, and it's a cool spot. And then, getting out and going to boarding school, and then, through that, traveling to play baseball and hockey I've probably been to every city on the East Coast. It feels like, to do one or the other, and just traveling long car rides with my mom. I mean, some of the best memories I'll ever have is just literally driving to college baseball showcases my sophomore and junior years, where she'd pick me up from Petty on a Friday night, and we'd have to drive through the night down to Savannah, Georgia, pitch for 27 minutes. And then drive right home. It was
That's
insane.
That's the support system you want. Somebody who's got your back like that. So
truly.
Kudos to your parents. They sound amazing.
They gave me and provided for me everything I've ever been. I mean, they would have never shot me down when I'm like, let me start making stupid videos on the internet. Hey, can you help support me get to Toronto for a race or somewhere? One of the first times when I was still super small. I just needed to go to races, try and meet people, try and, get out there more. And they would be like, hell yeah, go. here's $100, whatever you need, gas money,
Nice.
and it's for them.
Super supportive.
Yeah, so much. And that's why I'm allowed. I was given that permission, not actually, but permission to explore this crazy lifestyle that I now live, and just chasing the running scene around the country.
Yeah, I love it. Earlier, before we actually hit record, we're talking about you have this vision, and I'll let you expand on it if you want to here, or if you're saving it for later. But the whole locker room experience, right? And what I loved about sports was when we did travel, went to Lake Placid or Montreal, or traveled far for hockey tournaments, or in high school when we would travel, the bus rides, all those things were a blast, were some of my favorite moments. And sounds like you had the same thing. So that's awesome. And those road trips with your parents, your mom, your teammates, all of them, I relate to that. I hear that.
Yeah, that was the best. It's camaraderie. And I think so kind of just going back to what you were saying is the idea is that I want to host a race where there's locker rooms where you come in your street clothes, you get changed into your running clothes in the stall, there's showers for after, and everybody gets to hang out. There's beers waiting for you after, whatever. And because you don't get that in running. I think that running running is such an adult sport for me. If I love running to death, don't get me wrong. But if my kid was like, Dad, I'm either going to play football, soccer, hockey, whatever, or I'm going to run cross country, probably going to push them towards playing one of the first sports.
Just a little nudge.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it. It just, there's something that's so different in this space where it's I feel like running's for 35-year-old people who just need to spice up their life a little bit. And that's, what I'm finding myself
It's not
in.
false.
I know.
Well, I feel like too, when you're in school, you have more opportunities to try out those kind of sports, and it's a little more difficult to find a rec league, or you might have to do extra traveling. But if you're a working adult, playing a game at 9 o'clock at night, that's not for everyone. So
no, I'm not
trying it as a kid, and if you want to continue it, good for them. But it's a good opportunity to try stuff out.
For sure.
Running will always be there.
The other night, I played hockey with Tim Chisano down in New York, and we got on the ice. It was originally it was supposed to be at 12:30. It was the first time you can get on the ice. And I'm like, I don't want to be playing hockey after midnight. Luckily, he got us in there at 9, but still, I don't. That's an hour till my bedtime. I don't
hours past mine.
Yeah, it's horrible. So
I've been on the ice many of times past midnight. Yeah. Luckily, most of the time I was getting paid to be on the ice, or else I wouldn't be there. But hey, I need to say this. I can't go without saying, we talked about the intro earlier, and I wrote a note. I was supposed to say it, but somebody helped me on my intro this time. And it's a mutual friend of ours who you've gone running with and I've gone running with. So a thing we have in common. And his episode actually drops tomorrow morning.
Oh, it's
Chad Zimmerman, a.k.a. the Clydesdale Runner. He was a big help for the intro.
Was he? Oh, Chad, that lawyer brain, he's got away with words, right?
Yes.
Chad's a beauty. I love him. He, we don't get to, run too frequently because we're so far apart now. And I feel like we're both been busier than ever, but yeah, we did a lot of fun stuff. I guess it's been a couple of years since we really did a video together with Believe in the Run, but yeah, we definitely need to change that soon here.
He's out in the Harrisburg area. I was in Pennsylvania for work.
Middle of Pennsylvania. Who the fuck goes there?
I just happened to drive through his town and I stopped for a run. It was what are the chances of that? But let's get into running, man. One thing I know is you played baseball, you played hockey growing up. Running wasn't a part of your life until you went to one of the world major marathons just a couple years ago, dude. Tell us about the experience you had at the 2022 New York City Marathon.
2022. Is that the one that I ran, or is that the one that inspired me? Sorry.
Oh, whichever one it was the one that inspired you.
Okay, the one that inspired me.
The year might be off.
I can't remember, but yeah, no, you're right. So my lovely girlfriend, who is the one who she does not shy away from letting you know that she created this. She is the muse behind all of my videos, my content, me running. So she would let you know that she created all this. But it's true. I watched her train for the New York City Marathon for 10 months before that, and I've told this story a couple times, but it's so funny that I can't not tell it. Is that she ran her first half marathon in May before the New York City Marathon. Mm-hmm. and she was living in London at the time. And I literally the week before was like, you might die. Like, I got very concerned. I thought she was going to die running a half marathon. I thought, well, who the hell runs 13 miles, as fast as you can? Like, so I got on a flight the next week and traveled to London to make sure I was there just in case. So fast forward to the New York City Marathon. I watched her whole training block, and I was such an asshole. I feel so bad. Like, genuinely to this day, the whole training block, I was like, you're insane. You're nuts. I don't know why you go out running 18 miles on a Saturday. At the time, I was working a shit job. I was fat. I was drinking beer like you've never seen me. I was smoking cigs, like all the worst things possible. And I was being an asshole. And then I got to the New York City Marathon that day, probably, at the time weighing like 300 pounds, like, just in the worst shape of my entire life. And as someone who was an athlete, that hurts, and you see it a lot because, like, you get out of that, kind of way of life and you just fall apart a little bit, and you don't want to run, you don't want to exercise. So that's where I was at. But then I started watching people kind of filter in behind her because she was fast. She ran a sub-4 first ever marathon. And
way to go.
I know.
Alexis, right?
Alexis. She's
way
a
to
badass.
go, Alexis.
And then she BQ'd this last Chicago Marathon.
Not a big deal.
I know. But so we stayed around, though, keep watching people. So we start seeing like the 5 hours, and then getting closer to the 6 hour marathon. It's like, shit, there's normal people out here.
Yeah.
There's normal people that look just like me right now. And I literally started just bawling. You have this visceral reaction where you can't control it. You don't know what the hell's happening. And my eyes, I'm just feeling all the tears come down. And my buddy's like, dude, like, what's going on? He was also having like a similar reaction. And I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm going to do this next year. Like, I am going to run this marathon. And literally the next day we get back to Boston. I put on my On Cloud Monsters that I bought that morning. Worst decision I've ever made, by the way. Not actually. And I went out and I made it 1.2 some odd miles, but it took me like 38 minutes. And I was like, all right, we got a hill to climb here.
Still getting out and getting it done. That's all that matters. One step at a time.
That's exactly what it was. And I literally just forced myself to make sure I went out for 45 minutes of walking or jogging or whatever I had to each day after that. And within a couple months, I got up to 5K, and then I just celebrated the other day, like the first time I ran 5 miles in one go, which was nuts. That was like making it to 5. That was the biggest turning point in my running journey. It was like the day that I was like, okay, I can do some pretty tough shit.
I love that. You got to celebrate all the milestones.
You have to.
It gets you excited.
And what's even better is how excited I still get thinking about. Because like there will be days where I finish up an 18-mile run and I'm like, that fucking sucked. I'm not any happier than I was before. And I'm like, just think back to the dude who ran 5 miles that day and broke down and he was on top of the world. And the same goes with marathons. Never take a marathon for granted. Like, if that's the distance that you enjoy running, you have to respect the hell out of it. And every time you cross that finish line, whether it was the race of your life or it was the worst fucking day, you have to look back and think, wow, there was a point where this wasn't even in my, wildest dreams. There was a point where, running 1 mile was hard. So every time I've crossed the finish line of any race, even half marathon, I'm just like, damn, we just did something. Like, I might have walked the whole thing. Who the fuck cares? You still went that far.
Very well said. And yeah, you got to remember the roots and respect the distance. No matter how many times you run it, it's hard. It's so
hard.
And a lot of marathon times it does suck.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? We can look back at it with, the rose-petaled glasses, or whatever they say.
Yep.
The marathon, there's like 8 to 12 miles of every marathon you are going to black out and forget immediately. And they were the worst. You hated your life. That's how I feel after Grandma's marathon this year kicked my ass. But that's the one that it comes to mind when I'm like, you know what? Appreciate that you made it 26.2 today. Slowest marathon I've ever run. Hardest marathon I've ever run. The only marathon I've ever gotten like blisters from. It was horrible. It was a terrible race, but still so appreciative of that opportunity to, go that distance and do it with a friend. Trav and I ran that race together for a bit too. So, just
What was it about grandma's that was so difficult? Was it like just the day itself? Like, are we talking weather or just, elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, so I didn't train very well following London. I'd run a great race in London, and
So we're talking London's end of April, and then grandma's, is that like what?
June.
Mid-June.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I kind of just, I didn't push myself nearly as hard as I should have for those, probably 6 weeks or so that we had in between. 4 good training weeks that I should have definitely pushed a bit harder. And then come race day, the weather was just terrible. It was tough. It was brutal. So it started raining at like mile 6 and then got really cold. And then I had a blister that was like the size of like a baseball under my foot that I had never had a blister issue in my entire life.
Oh, no.
So I was like at it was after half marathon. So it's probably like mile 15. I stop, I take the pin out of my bib, take off my shoe and just poke it. And it explodes everywhere. And then I'm limping. And then my nutrition wasn't staying down very well that day. So I took, they had the untapped maple syrup gels there. And I never tried them before. It was not what I thought it was going to taste like. Threw that up really quickly. And then just hobbled my way. And also, this is an important note. Everybody's always like, grandma's the flattest marathon in the world. BQ marathon. Bullshit. It is like running Boston. If you run the Boston course, it is up and down for 26.2 miles. It is the same thing at grandma's marathon. Now, if I was mentally ready for that, if someone told me, you're going to have rolling hills the whole way, I'd been, okay, great, perfect. Mm-hmm. But when everybody and their grandmothers in your ear saying, oh, it's the flattest marathon, bullshit. I'm never going to let them not hear it either. So if you want to run grandma's to get that fast time, go run a Rebel race instead.
There you go. The same thing happened to me. I ran Bay State in Lowell this past year, and everybody said it was super flat. Like, I wasn't going to BQ or anything, but I was like, bullshit? Like, seriously, bullshit.
Yeah.
It, like, the whole back half of the loop, you have to do 2 loops. It was probably like a 2% grade just up for like miles and miles and miles.
That was
like, what the hell
very
is it?
similar to grandma's. It's like you're just going uphill. It doesn't feel like a crazy incline, but you're doing 3 miles at a time going upwards, and you're just
adds up.
What? Yeah, after 30 minutes of just incline, just like, I'm good. I'm beat.
That's the Goffstown Rail Trail, Erika. Going west. You're constantly going uphill. And that's the Manchester City Marathon course right after the first half marathon portion of that. It's very hilly. It's hilly. It's actually extremely hilly, but big crowds and everything. You pass that half marathon point, the crowds go away. You get on the rail trail. You think, okay, nice, easy out and back rail trail, flat. No, it's 4 miles uphill until you turn around and then you get the 4 back. But you just did 4 up. You just ran a half marathon. Yeah. I'm dead. It's a very humbling experience sometimes when you have that difficult marathon and you don't have a good training block. I had the same experience, and it's a humbling and a lonely experience sometimes.
That's a great way to put it. Very lonely. Because you're in your own head, so deep in your own head, you're like, I could have done that. I could have done another 18. I could have done another 20. I could have, there's a lot of could haves, but also at the end of the day, I mean, your training block is only as good as what your body's ready to put into it. Like, I then came off grandma's and had a whole lot of time to actually recover and build that base back up. And then go into Berlin and Chicago and have 2 of my best races I've ever had. And so, my body obviously needed that rest. It needed a little something, change it up.
So you're used to doing kind of back-to-back races. I mean,
I love it. I'm not going to lie.
Together.
You did Boston and London.
No, I didn't do Boston.
Oh, you didn't do Boston.
No, I just cheered Boston. Yeah, I might be running Boston this year. Don't tell anyone. You can leave it in here. I don't give a shit.
Oh, I'm like, should we leave it? We can do that.
Very cool. TBD. I'm definitely running 26 Point True. So I might be doing back-to-back day marathons, but that,
Love to see it.
That's awesome.
Truly ultra. Very
I
ultra
love
of you.
That's the thing too. I think that the really tough thing, when you're explaining doing whether it's like a week in between or even back-to-back days, the way that I know how my body operates, the same way I did when I played sports. It's like I'm going to feel a lot better doing two, not average, but like slower paced races back to back days than I would recover from doing one as hard as I can. So if I just go and chill for 26 Point True on Sunday and then chill through Boston, we're good. We're just hanging out.
If you're running, you got to look out at mile 19. We got a little cheering section there. And
At
if you
Hartford?
don't run, you're welcome to join us.
Okay, I'm in.
We make it a whole party. It's going to be a good time.
It's
I
a good
love
time.
it. We were at mile
Bring
17 last year, right at the firehouse, and
Oh, nice.
I watched some people just die, like just
it was
blow
last
up.
year.
It got really hot, like very, very, very hot. The donuts that we had were melted everywhere. It was disgusting. Yeah.
Well, let us know if you do wind up running, because I will usually have a cooler with me. So if you want like a soda, like something cold,
donuts.
like we even brought like a seltzer water for somebody, just
That's
something to mix it
my
up.
new
and
addiction, seltzer
great?
water. It's
Yep.
I
So
didn't realize
we'll
how
hook you
good
up.
it was.
I got a soda stream for Christmas, and I drink it every day now.
Is it
Not
worth
the same,
the
but
investment?
I've had one every day, just one, but it's nice. It's nice.
Oh, see, I am off of soda right now. So my
Bubbles, though, right?
yeah,
Bubbles
my
will do.
number one addiction in life is soda.
What flavor?
Dr. Pepper in particular. Like if you put a 24 pack of Dr. Pepper in my fridge this morning, I'd probably be working on number 18 right now. It is very, very bad. So that's the thing that I had to curb. And I don't know why I was always intimidated by seltzer for some reason. I was like, that just not for me.
I never could get used to the taste. My parents would drink it. My parents are the one who got me the soda stream. And I was like, I don't know about this, but I add a little flavor to it. It's a drink called Starry. It's kind of like a Sprite, I guess.
Sprite? Yeah.
Yeah. And I love it every day. It kind of has that flavor, but I'm still getting water. I think I'm getting water.
You are.
Yes.
Meg Featherston posted a great post the other day that was all about how carbonated water actually hydrates you a little bit better than regular water. So you are.
I'm on board.
When I was hardcore in Ironman training and I trained with Scott Erika, he always had big bottles, 2 every day at work, of seltzer water. That was his thing. And he would even bring it with him on the bike.
Vary it up a little bit. Like sometimes water is just boring, especially if it's like room temperature water.
I know. I got to throw
nice
a
to get some
fizzy
bubbles
stick
and
in it or something.
flavor in there.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. That, and it came in so clutch. So there's this brand, Cadence. They're kind of new to market, but they do a bubbly water that tastes like Sprite, salty Sprite, you'd call it.
Ooh.
And just sipping on that after like the 50K mark for me during the ultra was so nice. It was so refreshing to like have the bubbles and then also something that's just a little bit flavorful other than just regular water.
Good call.
So something we don't talk about a lot on here is food. And you mentioned soda. So I have a big soda addiction that's hard to kick sometimes. Mine's Mountain Dew. Ask Erika. I bought like a 48 pack of Mountain Dew after my marathon. And it was boys week because my wife and my daughter went to Florida, and I just grabbed Mountain Dew and drank Mountain Dew every day. And I'm like, I got to quit again. But you're a big guy. I'm a big guy. I love pizza and donuts and all those bread-like foods. How do you're running, you're doing ultras. Do you ever, you're trying to kick soda sometimes. Do you ever try to limit what you're eating? Or are you just like, hey, eat all the food I want, do all the running I want, live my life, live and run comfy?
Yeah, no, you're asking the hard-hitting question here. Apparently I'm on Ozempic. There was a thread somewhere. Someone sent me a screenshot.
Seriously?
Yeah. Because I did lose not a lot. I lost like 25 pounds probably during my Chicago and Berlin build. And this is not sponsored. They've sponsored me in the past, but me saying this right now, Factor Meals, the brand that sends you the pre-portioned meals, actually was the best thing to happen to my training and recovery during that time, because I was able to pick these high protein, actually good tasting meals that were not letting me overeat. So my number one thing is that I am an over consumer. If I'm going to make pasta, I make the whole box.
Yes.
And I eat the whole box myself. And then I wash it down, with a soda. And so there was probably a year and a half there where I wasn't losing any weight from running. I was just maintaining, if not gaining some weight. And I switched over to Factor, which I was getting a lot faster. I was feeling a lot better because these meals were actually, what I needed. I still eat pretty much anything that I want, but I'm more mindful of it now. I'm down to like 240 right now, which is for me the lightest I've been in a minute. So I do want to get down to like 200. I want to know what it feels like to run that at that weight.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced
that was my Ironman weight.
Yeah.
It felt nice. I felt nice, looked great, and I'm back up to the typical 220 that I ride all the time.
The 220 is going to be probably where I end up living. That was about my baseball weight. That I would live around there. Hockey weight was 195, but I was also like not healthy at all. I was burning so many calories. So yeah, probably 220 is where I'll end up living. I think that's a comfortable spot. I mean, I think that for me, it's like if I get to the point where, trigger warning, I start, making myself throw up again or something like that, like, then we'll have to have a real conversation about like what I'm eating. But for the first time ever, I'm actually very happily losing weight, and it's coming off now at a slow rate. Like it's like a pound a week. So it's nothing that's, I'm not dropping. There was one Christmas break in high school. I lost 30 pounds. Like that's not healthy. That's a kid who obviously needs to talk to a therapist. And luckily a few years down the road, he'll find one. So, yeah, weight's always been one of those things. And I think it's such a tough topic, especially in the running scene, because like there is the stereotypical runner's body, right? And the stereotypical runner, this, that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never once conformed to any of that. So like, what the hell, why don't we talk about it? But it still makes people uncomfortable. So, we shy away from it a bit. And weight for me is like, if I start talking about like what I eat in the day and my weight on my channel, I feel like I am doing a little bit of like, it's like a little clickbaity. It's like, because it's not important to the running journey itself. I think that this is a great place to talk about it, long form content, where I can actually put real context behind the decision that I was making, like switching to Factor meals or something like that, where a 1.5-minute video is not going to put that across. And it might even make someone else upset or, have some kind of negative effect on their training or their running. So I would never want that. I think that there's too many times that people get online and they get a little preachy about it, stuff like that. And really it's you don't have enough time in a stupid Instagram video to explain context behind choosing fuel and, proper nutrition if you're not an actual registered dietitian. You're just a fucking influencer who, was born with some great genes. So you have a 6-pack and, don't mind eating rice, chicken, and broccoli every single day. Yeah. It's remarkable the amount of bullshit people just not even think about and just put onto the internet. So like I try and, veer away from that. And, so I don't talk about food because I don't have a degree. I don't have any kind of degree. I love the people that ask me to be their running coach. You should know that I would be the worst running coach on the face of the earth. 1, I don't have the degree. 2, I can't even coach myself. I have a coach. Like he gives me my run every single day. Without him, I would be so lost.
So true.
And it's like there's people who want to coach. I am not that person. I want to help you and support you, but like I can barely get myself to do anything, organizational. You can ask anybody in Not Yet in Run Club. I'm the fucking worst. Like I've been meaning to post about our group run for like 2 weeks, and it's like not that I don't want to do it. It's just one of those things on the list of things to do that somehow keeps getting bumped down. But I'm going to do it tonight.
There you go. Yeah, Eric knows about the list of shit to do because
and it just gets longer. It gets longer, and then other things, of course, move to the top, like off the jump, and then you're like, oh well, fuck, like that just makes.
Sorry, Run Club.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, guys, and you know what, and like this is a public announcement, but I'm just gonna take myself out of the picture a bit more this year and let it just naturally happen. You guys can run on Thursdays if I'm not there. It's okay. People know the route. Go have fun, have each other. I don't need to be there.
Have a standing time and Self-sufficient.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly. Because if I'm involved in my travel schedule and everything, I'm gonna keep doing this thing where, it gets pushed back and I feel horrible about it.
Right. Usually with this podcast, it's the same way. I have to preface things saying like, I am not a doctor. Like,
Yeah.
I only play one on TV. But I have to just make sure that take my advice, whatever it is, with a grain of salt. What works for me might not work for you.
Yes.
Yada, yada, yada.
Like, okay, there's a lot of things too, and this is kind of like something I've been thinking about it a lot recently. But I get this question like, you're a big guy, why don't you get shin splints or have knee pain? I'm like, why are we correlating shin splints and knee pain to being like a larger bodied runner?
Right.
Mhm.
And the amount of people who just assume that I have shin splints or have had shin splints or knee issues is kind of crazy to me. And the amount of like DMs that I'm just like, oh, dude, I can't answer this question. I've knock on wood, been an incredibly healthy runner.
Right.
I've been able, and maybe I have to imagine it comes with like whatever base building of lifting and running for so many years. Like my body's just used to kind of that. I also have incredibly high pain tolerance. So half the time that my body hurts, I don't even recognize it as pain. And so like, I wish that like we would stop just being like, oh, you're a big dude, you probably have shin splints too. I don't know how to fix shin splints, guys. I'm so sorry. I freaking wish I could. Because if I could fix shin splints, then I would be a billionaire. I would just give everyone the way of, solving that issue.
So are you saying people are jumping in your DMs and saying, hey, I'm a big guy, I have this problem, how do you deal with it? Or are they saying to you...
Assuming.
Okay. It's like an assumption that all big dudes run into the same issues. And there's going to be things that we can obviously, like shoes that I like and stuff like that are probably going to be similar. But, things like pains and ailments and chafing.
Right.
I wear 3-inch inseam shorts. I talked about it in a Big Dude Approved the other night. Like my thighs, when they rub together, they don't chafe. I don't know why my skin is that way. I can rub my thighs together for 4 hours straight and they're not going to bleed.
You are lucky.
I know. It's an incredibly lucky
my
thing.
problem.
So it's like, but it's
Alex,
like,
what do you do?
I literally, okay, so this is actually what I did. And it's not good advice. When I first started running, I did chafe and I just let it happen. And I almost basically calloused my thighs, I think, or at least got them used to it. And now they don't. So like, and maybe that is what happened. I don't know, but I don't chafe there anymore. It's just like, it's stupid, but I don't have to worry about it. And so assuming that like all big thigh dudes are going to just chafe like crazies,
So you're so lucky. I'll tell you right now, like I can't do 3-inch. I can't even do 5. I'm looking for the longest ones, and I am lathering up as much as I can in all the areas.
See, 5 actually is worse for me than 3. If I'm skin on skin, I'm perfectly fine.
Okay,
but the 5 almost gets too much fabric in there, where then that might cause an issue because that's like I get like I have like a little cut that I'll get like from the fabric just rubbing. It's not chafe necessarily, but it's like a burn or something. I don't know. But also I wear half tights most of the time anyway, because those are just better pockets. You can hold so much more stuff.
So this is kind of on topic, but it wasn't planned. I don't think I've ever asked anyone this, but when you run, are you running in running shorts that have the built-in liner, or do you purchase like the individual liner and then throw the shorts over?
No, so if it's like a 3-inch inseam short, I just wear the normal built-in liner. That's fine.
So how long do they last for you? Because I have this problem where they never last more than call it a running season for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't run into that yet. I don't like the liners that are like the ones that go down to like that are almost like
mid-thigh.
briefs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need like the I guess like tighty whitey hugger in inner thing. I don't know.
Yeah. My problem might be I do the briefs. Maybe that's my problem, but they never last more than a running season, like a whole just call it 12 months. Yeah, I get holes on both sides.
I haven't run into that one yet.
And I know they're done when I chafe. I'm like, oh, I bet there's a whole.
Okay, so I've had that in a couple long pairs of leggings where I'm like, I'll get done a run. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like cold in between my legs. That's weird. That's not supposed to be there. And then like, oh shit, there's a hole down there. But no, actually, I found my favorite. So like if I'm wearing a half tight or a legging, I'll wear these briefs, and Uniqlo makes these seamless briefs that are also like sports, like sweat wicking material. And it has been the greatest find I've ever found. I have zero issues. I've done many long runs in them now, and both Chicago and Berlin wore them, and they were great. So check those out.
I will. I'll be checking it when I'm editing. I'm going to be like writing it down right then and checking it out.
They're $14.99.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's
no,
actually
worth
awesome.
every penny.
That's
worth
awesome.
every single penny.
You always find me at the Merrimack outlets, like looking to get the deals, like, you know, go to the New Balance or Saucony store. No free ads, but like I'm looking for the deals, buy 2 for $30, right? And I'm like, oh, that's a great deal, you know. So, but I'll check that out.
And the thing about it is like, I love about running too is that we're all very open about bodily functions, chafing, you know,
runners are the
anything
best.
that
we have no filters.
We have no filters whatsoever, but also like I think it's nice that we treat each other just as humans and we don't over sexualize our sport, which is awesome. Because that could be a really dangerous conversation for it in a lot of spaces. But here we're literally like, I'm just in so much pain. It just hurts this bad. What do you do to solve this issue? And it's tremendous. I respect the hell out of that.
You know, that could be where the term Erika and I use, spare no details, was born.
Yeah.
And I would like you, we love running stories, and we love to hear like the first race or the first marathon experience. I would love to hear you tell me in spare no details about that New York City Marathon 1 year after being inspired from everyone running. Tell us about that race. How did race day go?
Oh, it was everything I could have ever imagined and nothing at all what I was expecting. You know, the New York City Marathon is a marathon in itself, the day, because you have to get up at like 4 a.m, hop on a bus to Staten Island, then you're in the starting village for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and then you start going and you're immediately running up a bridge. It's the just hardest bridge of the day. Nobody tells you that too. The mile 16 one's bad, but Ferenzano might be worse. And then, you know, during training, I think for the New York City Marathon, I did 1 18-miler. I followed the hit 3 hours rule and stop. Never do more than 3 hours. And so that last 10K, let's actually call it the last 10 miles, actually really were a lot harder than you could have ever imagined. And I think the number one thing that you'll trick yourself into, especially for your first marathon, is that you've done the work and race day is going to be easy. A lot of people will tell you you've done the work to 26.2 mile party. And there's a lot of truth to that. But also you have to work one more time to get to that finish line. The work is not over. You really are going to have to grind a bit to get through that marathon. And I kind of, you know, let myself go. And I was like, oh, it's 26.2 miles. The crowds will carry me through. They do, until you get a wrench thrown in your way, like you cramp, like you've never cramped before, or you have a GI issue, or you lose a gel, like it's your last gel of the race and you lose it and you're like, oh no, how am I going to fuel for the rest of this thing? So all of those things happened to me during that first race. And I just remember I did black out when Bronx, probably miles 14 to 20. I was just like, I'm gone. I don't know what's happening. It was really hard. It was really slow. It was very painful. And then I get to Central Park and I run into my parents again. So mile 19, I see, I don't know if you know Mike Kofuzi.
Yeah.
So Mike and Drew Whitcomb were waiting for me, and they picked up my spirits. I needed them so much, and they're like, "You got this, dude. You look so strong." Meanwhile, I'm
they were waiting for you. Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, they're the
That's
best.
awesome.
They're the greatest guys in the world. They from a very early point in my content creating career just reached out and were like, "Hey, we support you," and ever
I love
since haven't
that.
looked back.
I love that. Big Kafuzi fan.
Yeah, I love Mike to death. And so he was waiting for me and he was like, "You look so strong." And I like look at my feet and I'm like shuffling. I'm chafing out of my armpits, which had never happened to me before. And I'm like, "I hurt so much, Mike." He's like, "Yeah, but you're almost there." I was like, "No, I'm not. I know how much further we have left in this thing, and I am
The
nowhere
one thing
near
you don't
it."
tell runners, you're
Yeah,
almost there, unless you can
exactly.
literally see the finish line.
And so struggled again for another 5 miles or so, and then see them again right outside of Central Park, and they ran
so
with me.
they were following you.
Yeah. Oh, I was the
Yeah.
last guy on their radar. They were like, "We're gonna go watch Connor Mance and Des Linden, and then Herm." Like they probably took showers and ate a whole meal. And so they came back out and they ran with me for a bit, like a whole mile. Drew ran with me, and that was right up Fifth Ave, which is the most painful part of the day. That's harder than any bridge, actually. It's all uphill. It hurts, and you're at the end, and you just don't realize how big Central Park is. And for some reason, you're like, just get to Central Park, and then you're there. Central Park is freaking huge. That's that and Fifth Ave, you just keep going up these tiered streets. So you're like, "Oh, okay, I can see the top," and then you get to the top, and you're like, "Oh, there's another one," and then another one. So, and then I make the right-hand turn to go back into Central Park, and I see Ben Johnson, who's calling out for me. And I'm like, "Yo, Ben, what's up?" And he's like, "You got to keep going. You're so close." And I was like, "Ben, like, I think I stopped and I was like, how long ago did you finish?" He's like, "Let's just say I went home, showered, ate a meal, called my family, and I came back out here an hour ago." I was like, "Oh man, okay." And then the rest of the race, I cried a couple times for sure, like running through Central Park, because that's where it became very, very real. And then I remember almost dying because there you go back into Central Park and there's like a curb you have to jump up onto, and which is just the most cruel thing in the world. You're already 26.1 miles into the race and you have to jump up onto a curb.
It's like in an Ironman, they make you go up a ramp at the finish.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so brutal. So then I get across the finish line and I just break down. I am the most emotional guy in the world. That was the coolest thing ever. But at the same time, that was the first time that an idea hatched in my head that I was like, I can go further. My body can physically go further. And so I was like, okay, well, now I'm kind of curious about ultras. Like,
all right.
And that's when I ran my first 50K right after that, the Frosty Looper, for the first time. And just
we have friends who do that every year.
It's my favorite race in the world.
I'm going to do Loopy this year.
Are you doing Loopy?
Yeah, I'm going to come down for Loopy.
I'm thinking about it. Oh. It's I might do the 12-hour. So
that's what I'm going to sign up for, is the 12.
Cooper River Park. Have you ever been?
I crewed someone who did it a few years ago, so it's a really nice course. Like, I like that it's paved.
It's all paved. It becomes very, very annoying to do that loop for so long, but it's my favorite race of the year. I call it my baseline test. So the first year I was able to get 34 miles. This year I got 40. What am I going to do at Frosty Looper 2025? I don't know. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Maybe we get 42 miles or something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Way to go with that first marathon, and even just right after wanting to do more. Like, it took me a long time to get to that point to even do another marathon. I think it took me 3 years to do a second marathon after my first.
Well, it was kind of
from there it spiraled, but
yeah, then you become addicted. For me, that was also kind of what we said earlier. Like, the ultra scene's so nice and so welcoming. Yeah. I felt a lot less pressure to get to Frosty Looper and just go see how far we can make in 8 hours. And in my head, ultra means just walk the whole thing. So I walked a ton of miles that day. Like, and this year I was like, okay, we're gonna run. We're gonna put up some. My first mile was like an 8:45, which was the worst decision of my day. But
you went out.
I went out.
It's so hard to pull yourself back for those ultras, especially when you have like 8 hours or 12 hours on the clock. You're like, I could do whatever I want.
Yeah, I have all the time in the world, right?
Walk.
And then next thing you know, you're like speeding to the finish to get that last loop in. But I went out with my buddy Brad, and I didn't even know he was running the race until I saw him there. And I was like, dude,
Oh.
you're running? Okay, well, let's run together for a little bit. And we'd done training runs together before, and we've ran like 10:30s together. I didn't realize he's gotten like super, super fast. So he's like, I was like, what pace are we gonna just cruise at? He was like, I was thinking about we just like live right on 9, like 9 on the dot. I'm like, oh, we're not running together really today, but we'll do a mile or two together. So I ran the first mile like an 8:45 and then the second one like a 9:15. I was like, all right, Brad, I will see you at the end, brother.
Yeah.
And we ended up running the same exact miles, so we just had very different strategies about it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I for the first time ever, it was like the paced one, and he went out. I want to say he ran like a 4-hour flat marathon, and then just kind of walked the second half marathon or so.
And that's the beauty of the ultras. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing.
You know, since Erika got into this ultra marathon journey, my favorite one she does is called Anchor Down. It's in Rhode Island. And a quick story about her first ever year, she's like, will you guys please come with me? And I crewed along with our friend Shauna. And the race starts, and we're like, this is kind of cool. This is cool. It's a 2.45 mile course. And she comes around on lap 1, and we're like, oh, she's in second place. And then she comes around the next lap. We're talking age group, all right? Age group. But then she comes around the second lap, and we're like, Erika, you're in second. Third lap, you're in first. And then we're like, holy cow, we really have to crew. But maybe what we ended up doing was, really
Psyching
push her
her
through
out.
12 hours. And then she's like running quicker. And
Yeah.
and then I had to go out there, pace her, and slow her down.
Did you win?
I did get first in my age group that year, so I did.
Let's
take home an
go.
award.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it all depends. Like that one is right. It's the weekend after Loopy Looper, so it's in the heat of the summer.
That's hot. Yeah.
And it starts at night, which already throws you off because you get no sleep that morning. And then like I've done the 12-hour. This year, I'm actually going to do the 24. I signed up for 24 hours. So I'm like, oh no. So it's all about just trying to rest when you can, making smart decisions, keeping up on your fuel, trying to get out of the dark place in your head and just see what happens.
Without a doubt. I feel like 2.45 miles would be tougher too. Something about that extra mile and a half or so you have at Looper is nice because it's not too frequent, which it was I think I would probably do a better job of fueling if that were the case for me, but also it'd just be like a little bit too frequent to see my crew. I don't know.
Yeah, and this one's a little tougher too because about a mile of it is on a trail.
Okay,
it's a pretty technical trail, and I've
it's rooty
like
too.
I've tripped, I've hurt myself, and then you're just like, well, looks like I'm walking this part always, and then and you're just waiting for the daylight hours so you can just see where you're going. And then
that is my favorite thing about the Looper course is that I have my 2 walking spots. And I'm just like, just get to the next walking spot. Just make it there. And then you can walk.
That is a perfect way. You know when to walk. You look forward to that. And it's a motivation point.
It's great that you have a plan going in too. You know the spot. Like in a marathon for me or when I did Ironmans, it was walk at every aid station. Now the aid station was like the length of a football field. So it was a nice aid station. But I knew when I was going to walk, just make it to the next one. Make it to the next one. And make it to your spot. I love it. I love it.
Yep.
It's funny too, because in Berlin, my strategy was hit every other aid station. And at the end, when I was getting very tired, I was like, okay, we're going to hit every aid station. And then you just start giving yourself excuses. You're like, all right, this aid station only can fill, your water bottle up halfway so that you have to get water on the next one. Or something. Like you just start making excuses as you get closer to the end and your body starts to, decay a little bit.
Yep.
Marathons are hard.
Marathons are freaking hard. Never think that they're easy because they're not. No matter what, you're going to have to face some kind of adversity.
I'm going to regret this maybe one day, but I think they're harder than ultras.
I would agree. I think that here, and I described this to someone the other day who is not a runner in the running scene at all. Because I was telling them like I was a lot less worried about anything for my ultra. And here's the thing. When someone looks up your marathon time, whether they know about running or they don't, they can tell you what they perceive to be a good marathon time. So 26.2 in under 4 hours, 26.2 in under 3 hours, whatever they perceive to be a good time. There's a lot of pressure to like impress them. Ultras, you see someone ran 50 miles, who the fuck cares how long it's, like your body
Holy
went
shit, you
50
just did-
miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Great. It took 12 hours. Awesome. That's insane.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
like,
is that good? Did I
Yeah.
high score? What's that mean?
so I
Did
think
win?
I think that a lot of those internal stresses that come with, especially people who put, themselves on the internet, with like battling your own brain, get taken out of it with ultras. So like all that stress is gone, and then you just go. So you're just vibing because, marathons are, whether you like to admit it or not, you have an A goal and it's probably pretty hefty. And if you don't hit it, there's very, very firm and like noticeable quantitative evidence as to whether or not you succeeded.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's also impressive sometimes. Like, so Erika did her first 100-miler. She was 27 minutes short of the cutoff. And sometimes it's more impressive when you're like, you ran for 30 hours straight. Like that's a number.
Just a grind, man. That is just like
You grinded it
hell
out.
or high water in getting this done. And it is impressive, and it's like just stupid a little bit.
Oh, it's so stupid. We're so dumb.
I love it.
We're the
I
fucking
wouldn't change a
worst.
thing.
Well, what's not stupid is the community you've built, Alex. I want to dive into that a little bit. You've built this community. You got, Big Dude approved, sun's out, Tums out, Run Comfy. You also have your not yet named run club. Like, you've been building ever since your girlfriend got you on this crazy journey. You've built a community, maybe not even knowing it originally, but let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about how you built the Run Comfy community. I've seen some posts. I love your vlogs. You're very open about it. Let's dive into that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that at the forefront of making my videos is how this all began. I started making videos because I just wanted to see. First of all, I didn't see any other big guys at the time, really, and maybe I wasn't looking down the right holes because now I've found such a great group of bigger, larger runners who are just like me, like-minded people. But I just wanted to find more like-minded people who maybe like to run, listen to the Grateful Dead, and talk hockey or something. It was never to be this influence on the world. And like, I still get skeeved out when people call me an influencer because I'm like, yeah, I'll do a couple ad spots because I like having my bills paid for the first time in my life. But like, I'm here to just be a human and give people a safe space to, actually, maybe find some motivation in what we do and hang out and, just have cool people to look up to or look around or however you want to view it. I think that so many of the running people that I was watching, and like, this is obviously no shade to Mike Kofuzi or Believe in the Run, but like, they look like runners and they're freaking great runners. And when they're like, I'm not elite, but then can run a 250 marathon, that's so wildly out of my comfort zone that I'm like, I can't relate with that. Like, I love their content to death and I'll watch every second of it, but I can't personally go, oh yeah, I can do that workout. So I wanted to make sure that I could, provide some space too once it started blowing up. Like, oh yeah, I'm the totally normal dude. I ran 12-minute miles today. Like, we can do that together and hang out and have a good time, and you can still be cool and do that shit. So like, when I show up to like a group run and I'm running with like some fast guys, or, like I was in London with Tommy and this guy, Mike, and Mikey Kratz, and just these two speed demons, just so fast. But like, we can hang out too. Like, we might not run the same pace, but we're just all here to, vibe out and have a good time. So I was pretty stoked when I started showing up to these events and realized like, oh, I'm the guy who like people feel safe that like they can come join me in the back and we'll have a good time too. Even though it's, this stereotypically fast race or fast run or shakeout, or I don't really love shakeouts, but like, like group run of sorts. And so I think that's kind of where it all stemmed from. And then I realized rather quickly that like I've never really thought about like the influence other people have on me, but like I was saying earlier, like Kelly's been running in sports bra and spandex comfortably for years, and I'm like, I
Sports bra
fucking
squad.
adore her.
Hell
She's
yes.
a badass. She is the badass in Badass Lady Gang. So it's like when I saw her, I'm like, oh fucking hell, like I'm inspired by that. I wonder if people feel the same way when I do that. So then, I post, some shirtless stuff, and then guys are messaging me like, dude, I never in a million years would have done this. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm stoked I could have done. I was there for you. And then I got a lot of hate because I was a misogynistic asshole, apparently. So then I was able to come up with the suns out, tums out thing, because whether you're a woman and, you're wearing a sports bra, or you're a guy who's just shirtless, we all have our tums out. It's not the term shirtless, because apparently shirtless insinuated that I wanted all the women of the world to run with their boobs out and, put on a show for the fellas. No, like I never understood.
Strings. That's really like reaching for
But
it.
that's how it
Come
was
on.
born.
That's how it was born. So, but it was also like there's like it's like there's this thing about virality. People seek virality. I've never wanted virality less, because the handful of videos that do millions of views also invite the most mean and hateful shit you'll ever see. So if I have my community of people that consistently consume my content, and I get to talk to them, interact with them, and I'm seeing them all over the place, that's a million times better than a video that does 50 million views, because 50 million views brings 10,000 hate comments and some kind of negativity that you just don't need in your life. And so, like, I think if I had to give a piece of advice to creators or young creators, don't seek virality. Seek, building that community and the people that watch your content consistently and want to hang out with you. And, keep making the videos that make you happy. I can make a video right now if I wanted to, with a song and a couple transitions and me not talking over it, that will do 10 million views, because I know 500 people will share it. There's a very easy way to break the algorithm, but that's not what gets me stoked. If you're making content that doesn't get you stoked, if you wouldn't watch your own shit, then you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. And that's how you build community, and that's how you build an audience and a fan base. I don't even like saying that, though. That feels icky. These are my friends.
You just want the connections. You want to make meaningful stuff that people will relate to and actually get something out of.
Well, it was like for example, with our podcast last year, we did a monthly recap, and it was a lot of work. It was like a lot of work to put in a 60, 90-second video, and those don't get as many views on Instagram as other posts
that was more
did.
For us, I loved those.
But Erika would go, it's for us, because we can go back and watch that reel later and be like, remember that? Yeah. Like, that's what we love.
My favorite reel or video I've made recently was Philly Marathon weekend. I did my long run in Philly, and I saw like a bunch of friends, and I ran into them. It's like one of the worst performing vlogs I've ever posted, but it's the video that gets me the most stoked. And I'm just like, I watch it because I remember that day being like, oh yeah, I'm going to run with, Rafe and his wife in the morning. And then I'm going to go run with Zoe downtown. And then we're going to hit, John's apartment. And then I'm going to run back, and I'll get all my 20 miles in. And I remember that day so vividly, and I get to rewatch it and be like, oh, this was so much fun. And it's such an amazing day. Nobody gave a shit about the vlog, but I can rewatch it, and that's what gets me stoked.
I totally get it. When you make something that just makes you happy like that, like we had a guest recently, Mary Morgan picked this song for Erika's question. We're going to get to that in a second with you, Alex. Her song, though, when I heard it, I was like, I used this song in a reel I made 4 years ago at a 5K for Jay, a breast cancer awareness 5K. And I dug all the way down to find it and watch it. And I was so proud when I made this reel. It was the hardest reel I've ever worked on and made. And I was so proud of it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's only got like 350 views. Whatever. Mary, check this out. I love it. This is awesome. And it's to that song. It's one of those reels where the photos go,
They fade in and out,
fast flash.
Yeah, I was so proud.
Yeah.
I was so proud. But yeah.
Oh, I know the feeling. I had that moment too many times now. I mean, when you're posting, I used to post daily. Now I just post whenever I actually have content to talk about. Like the world's ending this week, so I didn't make like any content because what the fuck am I going to talk about? I'm like the least important person in the world right now. So like it's self-sustaining. You can post when you want. And so, I think to also like make sure that you're like inspired to make that content, right? You're not just doing it for those brand deals or whatever else that you
Right.
Might be seeking out in your creation journey.
Bottom line, if you're not enjoying it, then why bother?
You're just going to burn out so fast. And like, I definitely felt that. There was a blessing to getting the flu. I couldn't physically run and I had no motivation to make content. So I wasn't really on social media. So like 3 weeks off, basically, I maybe posted 4 videos in that whole 3 weeks. Felt amazing. Oh, yeah. It was so refreshing. And I felt those creative juices coming back to me because I wasn't searching for something, right? Like there were days in the beginning when I'd be searching for any idea, any thought, and like some of it would hit. It would be a knock in the park. There's a video of mine right now that's like, if you want to get fast, get leg tats. That video's done. Like I've gained like 10,000 followers just from that video. That video took me 4.5 minutes to make and was something where I was like, oh, I really need to get a video out there right now. So let me, make this stupid thing.
I'm not one to try to figure out the algorithm. I just post what I think is great and fun. But like, I posted a video of my 3-year-old, one of my twins, walking around in my UFOs, and that blew up.
Oh, I'm sure.
8-second video.
It's so annoying. Right. It's the most annoying thing in the world.
No rhyme or reason. The algorithm is fucked.
my first viral videos were the stupid ones of me being like Instagram running influencers versus TikTok running influencers. And I'm like, this is literally just like a video I thought of driving home from somewhere and put together in 6 minutes. And it's 2 million views in the first night. Like, what are we doing here? Then I work for like a month on like this really cool, intricate series of a video. And it's like, oh.
You just have to enjoy it, man. It's us with this podcast.
That's all part of it. It's all part of it.
Yeah, we have a dedicated night. We enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work.
Mondays are the best.
We're having fun. I'm enjoying the behind the scenes work. If you enjoy it, it's fun. If you don't enjoy it, like, what's the point? But
exactly.
That's when it's work, and that's when you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's when you really also, because like the inside baseball of it, it's like that's when the brand deals don't seem as appealing. So you're in the beginning of this thing and you get your first, company that reaches out to you and they're like, hey, read this script and make this video for us. And you're like, of course I'll do that. Of course, if you're going to pay me money and I get to do an ad, that's great. That's amazing. Just tell me the script. I'll read it. And then you do, a handful of those and you're like, I'm not really comfortable with this. And it feels like work. Like if I'm not motivated to go out and make the video for like brand, then is that like a meaningful partnership, right? And so you definitely start to have those internal conversations where you're like, oh, the brand's really not giving me any freedom right now. Like this is the worst thing I've ever done. I had a brand make me like, I did a brand partnership last year. And I mean, you can go figure out which one it is. It's only on TikTok. That literally made me, it made me literally want to go just stop making content altogether. I did like 8 reshoots for them. They ripped me apart on every single one. I did the video like twice, and then for like the 3rd reshoot, they were like, actually, we hate that you're wearing a black shirt. Can you wear a navy blue shirt? Redo the whole video. And I'm like, first of all, watch my fucking videos. You'll see that I only wear black shirts. And second of all, we're already 2 months behind the deadline. I'm in London right now, like trying to run a marathon, and you have me in this hotel bathroom reading your script and using your stupid product that I actually liked at the time. And now I will never give them my money again. But it's just like, and after you do that and you threaten them with legal action, and like, you're like, you are now taking what you requested from me to like a level that is just unreachable. We'll never compromise. So it's like, And it made me just want to be like, okay, I'm done with brand partnerships forever. Like, I never want to deal with. But then, you then work with a good brand again, and you're like, oh, okay, never mind.
This
I
is what
don't
it's
mind
supposed
this.
to be
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
Don't let one ruin the whole. Yeah, I get
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So that's kind of the inside baseball, and it's like it's not always as sexy, but when it does feel like a job, question that. Think about it. Was this worth it? Was the payday worth some miserable days of trying to figure out what they want from you?
Well, I'm going to lead you into something here because I relate a little bit. You're going to be at the Boston Run Show, and we're partners with the Boston Run Show. Like we help pump their tires, they pump our tires. But last year when they reached out to us, they're like, hey, we would love for you to have Mike Seaman, their CEO, on for 8 to 12 minutes to talk about the Run Show. And I said, we've never done that. That's not how we do it. But we would love to have Mike on for about an hour and talk about running and talk about his company and talk about him and get to know him. And if you want us to do that, that's how we would like to do it. And they let us do that. And Mike came on, and it was amazing for us. And we built this partnership and this friendship with them where I had a layover in London the other day. I almost took 11-hour layover just to go for a run with Mike. It didn't work out, but we built this relationship or partnership with them. It's very small. We're very small in their scale. They have bigger people they want to talk to and get out there like you. So tell us, what are you doing at the Boston Run Show this year on March 1st and 2nd in Boston at the I'm going to do one pitch. Get your free tickets.
Get your free tickets.
Get your free tickets. Use on the runs. But Alex, you'll be there.
I'll be there. I'm hosting a panel with Tina Muir. We're going to be talking all things sustainability. And then we're also going to do some plogging. For those of you who don't know,
up for the plug.
Yeah, we're plogging. So for our crowd who is new to plogging, it's running and picking up trash. And the best thing about plogging is it's actually not really running. It's really just walking and picking up trash with a cool group of people.
You're doing some good while you're out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna host a panel, and then other than that, we're gonna spend 2 days of hanging out, talking, running, and like taking selfies and meeting cool people. Maybe we grab a beer at the bar. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a great time. Yeah, we're just gonna have so much. Are you not coming this year?
I'm going to be, and this is how cool the relationship we've built with Mike is I talked to Mike because we're hoping next year to have a booth or have something set up. But I'm going to be in Cancun at my sister's wedding.
Oh, no. Destination wedding?
No comment.
Do I need...
This comes out the week before we go.
Oh, no. I just ended the marriage before it even started.
Mike goes to me. It makes no sense to move the dates of the Run Show. We'll just move the Run Show to Cancun.
Oh, that's amazing. Those free tickets would fly off the shelves. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. If only they paid for the travel, the hotels, all that.
Yeah, they cover it all.
Nice.
It's all included.
Erika will be there. She signed up for the plogging already. Yes. I hope the two of you get to meet there. I hope I get to meet you shortly after.
You're one of there's 4 different groups that are going to be doing plogging. I think Dave McGilvery is one of them. Becca Peasy's another. You said Tina Muir, and then yourself. So that's going to be a great group of ploggers and going to have a blast doing that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I think that we're just going to clean up the streets of Boston. I guess we'll probably just run up or down Boylston, I would assume. Kind of stick around.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I don't know where
clean it up right before the marathon. I love that.
Yeah, we'll have it ready for the city to really shine come April 20th, I think is
hopefully it'll stay that way. Somehow I highly doubt it. It's going to be covered in nips and trash.
One night of fireball shots and it'll be right back.
It won't take much.
To the lovely Boston we all know and love.
But
I will be there on the Saturday, so I will absolutely come find you. We'll say hello, take a couple selfies.
Bring in some Stoolie stickers.
I'll have Stoolie stickers, yeah. And then I got to say hi to Kelly as well because we love her just as much as you do.
I know. She is the best. She is really truly the best. Without Kelly Roberts, the running community wouldn't be the same.
Absolutely. Well, Herm, you're amazing. We could talk to you for hours. We'd even dive into the videos that you used to do. And I love that you're on Threads a lot. I wish I posted more on Threads or just wrote my random thoughts. That's actually how I really found you. Really?
Oh my God. Threads is where I just roast people. It's horrible.
Well, I love you on Threads.
People tee me up on there in a way that it's just like, It's bunch of clickbait and bullshit, and I will dig on the internet to make sure I find your information and then roast you for it. So yeah, be careful on Threads. But no, it's fun, and I think it's also a place where people can see another side of me, because 99.9% of the time I'm like the nicest human you'll meet. Like I'm not mean to people. I don't like possess that. But if you're an internet troll on Threads, I'm gonna let you have it.
For you.
You will get caught, because I got caught. I trash talked Erika once on Threads, and she's not even on Threads,
I
and
don't
she
have
sees
Threads,
it.
but on Instagram, sometimes they show up, and I'm
Oh.
like, "You little shit!" What?
Yeah.
And I sent him a screenshot. It was like, "You're," because it was, of course,
I go
like,
context. You
something
need
about me.
context.
I made a joke the other day about what's the stupid thing? It's not CrossFit. The lifting and running and high rocks. I made a joke about high
yeah.
rocks the other day. And Alexis, my girlfriend, she doesn't have Threads either, but apparently it pops up on her Instagram feed. She goes, "What the fuck is this?" So that got deleted kind of fast after it got censored.
Tell her, by the way, open invitation to come on the pod. We'll talk. Is she running Boston this year?
She's not. No,
Okay.
she's in grad school right now. So these training blocks are better for her during the summer. So the fall races have really worked out
Very cool.
in the sense that like she's only run Chicago and New York. She ran New York twice and then Chicago this year. So she'll be done at the end of this semester. So probably Boston next year, I would assume.
Nice.
Excellent.
Well, she's always welcome. But what I was trying to get to, my last final point here, the last two questions, as I told you in the email, we get off track a lot. We have these two big, hard questions we ask our guests to end the podcast. Every podcast, the same question. I will go first, and my question is new for 2025. We're having this fun imaginary, maybe we'll really do it, pasta dinner. And at this pasta dinner, all our guests from 2025 are welcome to come and bring a +1. You can bring anyone, alive or dead, legend, non-legend, runner, non-runner. Who are you going to bring to our On the Runs pasta dinner? And I need to say, because Chad called me out, I gave Kelly Roberts more than one, just one person.
Oh yeah, I have my one. It's Jerry Garcia. I would give anything to meet and hang with Jerry Garcia just for one night. Then that's my answer to this question. At any time, we'll do like icebreakers at work or something, and same exact response.
Love it.
All right.
Love it.
So since he had his question, I have my very important question. So we already talked about walkout songs, but we have a Spotify playlist, and we like to invite our guests to add whatever song hypes them up, gets them in the mood to run. I don't know if you actually listen to music while you run, but is there a song that you would add to our playlist?
I do. It's probably
Just
already
one
on there.
Song.
Just one though. Yeah.
Just one, or else I'll get mad. You'll get mad
The
at me.
Levels radio edit from 2016.
Love Levels.
But only the radio edit, not the full
Radio
10-minute
edit.
version.
So that's
God,
a
that
Beachy,
song would
right?
get me so
Yeah,
jacked
it's a
up for
Beachy.
hockey.
Oh, they absolutely fire you up. Yeah.
Right.
Or like Gangnam Style for some reason. I'll throw on like
I love that song.
anything from like 2010 to 2016's playlist. I have a bar mitzvah playlist. It's called. It's like I forget what I found it on Spotify once. It's called like 2012 to 2014 bar mitzvah playlist.
Oh, what's
Bangers.
the song I feel like fits right in? What's the Harlem Shake? That one.
Oh, the
I don't know
Harlem
why
Shake
I
was-
love that one for running. It's
Yeah.
so random, but like it's
Hips
just...
Don't Lie the other night was really helping me through my 800s.
wow.
It was just long enough that, it's like you get into the 800 because the first about 200 to 300 of an 800 aren't terrible. You're just kind of working. But then once you get past like 600 of it, you're like, oh, this is hurting. I need that
That adds
music.
up real fast.
Yeah.
Well, dude, this was awesome. The level, real quick on levels. For many, many, many years, I refereed college ice hockey, and I loved warm-ups so much around that stretch of like 2010 to 2016, because warm-ups, you had to be out there. They had the light show and everything going on, and just the music. We had like a big EDM phase there, and I almost was like taking my phone out and like, Shazam, what's this one? I need to know it. So we had levels and cinema and promises and
Animals.
Yeah, Animals was so good. I remember hearing that for the first time at a club in Charlotte, North Carolina, going to the DJ and saying, "What's this song?"
Yeah, I did the same exact thing.
Is that Deadmau5 Animals?
No, Animals is
Martin Garrix.
Do
Martin
you know
Garrix,
Ghosts
yeah.
and Stuff?
Yeah,
Ghosts
that's
Stuff
Dead and
is a
Mouse.
That's Dead Mouse.
That one is like top tier for me. Like I love the EDM stuff, but I'm also like such a pop girly, like Britney Spears. NSYNC for the record. Ali G, she's a Backstreet
Backstreet
fan.
Boys all the way. the question of the week is NSYNC
Yeah.
or Backstreet Boys?
But anyways, all of that old school like 2000s, 90s
I
like,
am
pop
too
music. is great.
uneducated to even answer that. I'm not gonna lie.
You might
We'll
be a
let it
different
slide this one
generation
time.
than us.
A little bit, probably a little bit, but also like my music taste is very
Well,
very like jam
you're-
bands. I was
you're a
raised
big-
by hippies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you picked
Grateful
Jerry
Dead and
Garcia,
Fish.
and you're a big Grateful Dead guy,
Who
you
did
know?
I
Yeah.
So
see? I saw. Is it Joe Russo's Almost?
Oh
Dead?
yeah,
I
J-Rad.
saw them at Red Rocks.
Oh, that was a great show. I listened
I
to it
hate
on
to-
Nugs. This is like
I hate
over
to
the summer.
say I wasn't so into it because I had just run a Revel race that day. I did
Okay.
Revel Rockies, and I had been up since 2:30 in the morning, and that concert was later that night, and I was like dead. So
I love
but
J-Rad. I just saw them a few weeks,
super
probably 2
cool
months
venue
ago.
at the very least.
Oh, I love Red Rocks too. Yeah, the first time I went to Red Rocks, I'm taking you past your time, but this is a good story. So the first time I ever went to Red Rocks, I was very naive. I had just heard stories of this beautiful place, and I was out there on a work trip. I was working in lacrosse at the time. I was with my friend Alex, and she and I went to the dispensary for the first time. It was like the first time, I was in a state where weed was legal at the time.
Mhm.
We had gone, we'd picked up a couple of joints, some edibles, and and in my head, Red Rocks is just this amazing music place where, you just look out and you see this beautiful landscape. And then we get there and I'm like, why the fuck is everybody working out? I had envisioned just sitting here looking over Red Rocks, imagining, the Dead smoking this joint and just having a great time. And everybody's running up the stairs or doing like yoga at the top. And I was like, this is not the experience I thought that I was going to have.
Red Rocks is for everybody. Depends when you go.
It was a much different place than I had imagined. But hey, that's part of the beauty of it. When we went back to the hotel after that, and I accidentally took too many edibles, and I think I was, asleep for 24 hours after that.
Everybody
great.
indulge responsibly.
Yeah.
Yes, please. And know that when your buddies tell you there's 100 milligrams in this brownie cooked up in college,
Oh my God.
that is a lot
I'd be
different
in a
than
coma.
that. No, it's just not true, because if you take like 20 milligrams of the brownie out in Colorado, it actually puts you in a body bag.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, that was my experience.
Well,
You
Herm,
learn
this
quick.
was Herm, this was so awesome, man. We could talk to you for hours. Open invitation if you run the Boston Marathon to come on our Boston recap episode, where we typically get 3 or 4 runners to come on and talk about it. And they're runners, just everyday runners like us. So this also will come out after the Super Bowl. So I am hoping for your happiness and joy. Go Birds.
Go Birds, baby. Let's go.
I want to thank you so much for coming on, Herm. We think you're awesome. Have fun seeing Dead and Company, because I'm a big John Mayer fan. I love him too.
You and me both. I like looking at him.
Same here. He's
Yeah.
great. But thank you so much. We think you're awesome. So just keep doing what you're doing. Do it organically. Be yourself. We love what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And a selfless pitch here, but the other podcast I started producing and I'm helping edit, the Ali G Show, is all about running and music. And you seem to enjoy both a lot. So selfish
Get
pitch.
right in.
Jump on the Ali G Show someday. Let us know. I'm sure Ali already, she loves you. So
All right,
that's
well,
awesome.
Let
But
Allie know. I'm down whenever.
But you are the man. Thank you so much for doing this and coming on. And thank you for all this time. We went very long. You're very gracious with your time. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. We had Herm Runs on the On the Runs podcast. How awesome was that?
Herm. I'm going to call you Herm from now on. We're friends. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We think you are so freaking awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep running those ultras. Keep eating the donuts. I'm all behind that. That is perfect.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like we're friends now. Go Bruins. Go Birds. I'm happy for you and the Birds. The guy must have been so ecstatic last week. Like we recorded with him right after the conference championship games, and he was wearing the hat. He was like, yes, let's go. And I was like, fingers crossed that in 2 weeks the Birds win. So when his episode drops, he'll still be on that high.
There you
and
go.
He was. So yeah, he was so cool. What a cool guy. I'm jealous of you. You're going to get to meet him soon at the Boston Run Show.
Yeah, I hope that I get put in his group for plogging, because we're gonna go plog before the that's such a weird word, but I love it. We're gonna pick up some trash while quote unquote running before the run show, and then I'm gonna hang out and have a good day at the show.
Yeah, I'm jealous. You're going to be there. You're going to get to see all the people from Raccoon Media. You'll be with Tara Pterodactyl and Lindsay. Tara Pterodactyl and Lindsay are going to be back real soon with a recap. And then they're going to do a bonus recap with you about the run show, because the next couple of weeks, I am going to be away. This podcast is taking a weird break. Like, there'll still be drops.
School vacation.
Right.
Wait, spring break.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to Cancun for my sister's wedding. We leave next week, a week from today, and we don't come back until the week after. So I'm missing 2 Mondays of recordings with you. You're getting a little bit of a break, but you are also getting to jump on some other podcasts. There will be some bonus episodes for the listeners, and they're not all going to be classics or best of. You're going to get to hear some new content. We've pre-recorded some stuff. Possibly the Q&A will also drop. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions, especially one of you who submitted 8.
Yay, and I hope some of them are for you, Eric.
All for Erika, but if you want to send any more to Erika or some to me, shoot a DM with your questions, and we're going to record that soon, and it will drop while I'm gone. So yeah, it's kind of weird. We're taking a spring break, as you called it. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It kind of is. It's in March when all the colleges would be going off somewhere warm. Except
I wonder
I'm
if Hannah's wedding is going to be like crashed by a bunch of spring breakers.
Cancun is a pretty popular place. I hope it's in a place that regular college kids can't afford. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't know, unless they got rich daddies or something, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be relaxing. Listen, I am not taking the computer. I will probably not be doing many posts on social media. So I'm giving you the reins, Erika. You can do stories, you can do posts, or you can do reels. But like you told me last week, door 1 or 2. I'm going to give you 3 doors here. Door 1, 2, or 3. It is not a homework assignment. It is just what I think you should do when I'm gone on our Instagram channel.
Since you picked it, I'm going to choose door number 2.
So door number 2 is easy. Door number 2 is stories. Door number 1 was post. Door number 2 was stories, and door number 3 was reels. Go do some stories. Go jump on it and just go for a run. Be like, hey, I'm running here with Rachel Runs for Medals, or hey, I'm doing this. Here's my training. Or guys, I hope you really enjoyed the bonus episode, which involves you. Or maybe guys, tomorrow is the Q&A. It was so much fun. Your goal is to do some stories.
I think I can handle that. Stories are way easier for some reason. I don't know why. It's the same effort, but I don't know. I like stories better, mostly because I don't have to crop it into one tiny stupid square. That's my problem. I like having the long phone length.
I hear you. The vertical. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my gripe. Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoy. It's not a break, but it's a little bit of break. We'll have a lot to talk about when we're back. Go check out the Boston Run Show. Remember, use that the code. I think in just a couple of days, the 22nd is the last day you can get free tickets. So use that code on the runs and go see everybody. Go see Herm. Go see Erika. Go see all the speakers. Des Linden's there. If any of you see Des Linden, tell Des Linden to come on the podcast for Boston Weeks.
Please,
I'm trying, guys. I'm going to legit say this now. I've done the email. I've done the DM. I'm trying to get Des Linden. Help me make this happen, PodFam. Help me make it happen.
Make my dream come true,
yes.
you guys.
We want Des. We want Des. Guys, enjoy the next couple of weeks. Please follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you really love us and you want to support the pod, Erika, they can do it by doing what?
Join our Patreon. Sometimes we post stuff there.
We just did
We got to
recently.
be better about that. Okay,
we
good.
just did recently. Remember we did the jibber jabber?
Yep.
And also like the Patreons last year got first dibs on hoodies. So a couple of them took advantage of that, but we'll say like, hey, we're not doing this for everyone. But if you're in the Patreon page, we'll do it for you. Support us there. Enjoy. I really hope that Mexico goes well. I won't drink any of the faucet water, just bottled water. Erika, you have any final comments before we're gone for like the next time we really record will be 3 weeks from now?
That's crazy to think about. I just want everybody to stay warm because it is brutal out there. Let's turn this winter shit around. I'm over it.
No.
I'm sure you guys are too.
No. Stop that. Stop that.
You
I
can
mean,
keep
for all
it
you Boston
up north.
Marathon runners who are running
Up
and
north.
training, I'm here for you, and I hope you get great weather and to
How's
do it
this then?
outside.
Get rid of the wind chill.
True.
Fair?
Get rid of the wind chill.
Thank you. That's it.
Give
I'll compromise.
give the snow to the mountains so I can ski until the end of
Yes.
April.
The mountains can have it.
Right. And good luck to everyone. Thank you, everyone who reached out about Boston Weeks. We recorded with 8 people today. We have another 8 in a couple of Mondays after I'm back. They're awesome. Like I said, when I'm back, I'm going to clip all those little 20-minute hits we did, and they will go on that YouTube channel. So go subscribe to the YouTube channel. They'll be out there before they were released on the pod for Boston Weeks. This whole thing's awesome. And one last thing, Erika.
Mm-hmm.
As much as a hard time as I give you some time about the homework assignments last year, or just now about like, oh, door number 1, 2, or 3, what are you going to do?
Uh-huh.
You made me proud earlier today. You really made me proud. You went out there, you sent the emails, you did it behind my back and got an amazing response. You included me because we're we with this podcast.
We are we.
I don't want to go into details. It's details for like a year from now, but it was a huge connection, and I say huge kudos because I was gonna do this next year.
Well, I'm glad I could take something off your plate.
Right, but now we're a whole year ahead. I was gonna wait, and I'm glad you shot the email because that would have put us a whole another year behind on the overall goal and dream of this. And some really cool things are going to happen as long as we keep doing this. Pod's going to keep dropping every week. We're meeting some amazing people like Herm, who you had today. We have so many more amazing people coming on. Guys, you rock. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast, this passion project, this dream. Erika, thank you for doing this. Erika, save me and take us home.
I did it for us, man. We are a we. But stay warm, everybody. Thank you for listening. You know we love you.
Don't fear the code brown.
Don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1.
All right, let's wrap this up. We'll do it. Yes, I know, me too. All right, bring us back from Alex.
Herm.
Herm.
That's what goes through my head when I think of it.